Welcome back to Module 4 of our program on Cosmic Forces Shaping a New World. Until now, we've come to discuss who you really are as not only human, but as also a soul and a direct expression of the one wholeness, the unified field. We've talked about the importance of shifting your point of view and learning to connect with your cosmic team, your unseen helpers across the veil. In some cases, some people actually see them in their mind's eye. It doesn't matter whether you see them or not. You can connect with any aspect of higher consciousness because you share the same higher consciousness. This is the key. So I promised you a method of doing that with much more intention. When I first came to know that any of us can learn to connect with beings across the veil, as we say, non-physical beings. And I realized that I wanted to share with others how to do that. I sat and I thought about what is it exactly that I do to go from normal waking consciousness to this expanded state that allows us to have direct connection, direct communication with those across the veil. Right now, my guides are saying, give an example of that. We love the evidential stories. Just to remind you how real this is, let me tell you about the time I was sitting with a woman and tuned in by shifting point of view, using the method I'm about to teach you, and I sensed that she had a son who had died. He gave me his name. He showed me that he had taken his own life. She said, "Yes, that's my son." And I said, "He's telling me he jumped off a bridge. That's very specific evidence." And she said, "Yes, do you want to know where?" And I said, "No, he's right here. Let me ask him." I said it was the Verrazano Bridge in New York. She was crying, I think both from the sadness of his passing, but also the relief at realizing he was still here. We went through a whole conversation with him. He passed along the messages of why he decided to end his life and how he made that decision, why he was a little off, because he showed me he had been bipolar and hadn't been taking his medication because his girlfriend didn't want him to. This is evidence that we are souls and can communicate with those no longer in a body. At the end of our session, I realized he hadn't told me one of the most validating piece of information I always like to hear from those who have passed. What kind of work did you do when you were here before? But I didn't ask that out loud. See, like when his mom said to me earlier, "Do you want me to show you where this happened?" Maybe I picked that up telepathically from her soul. But in this case, I did not ask him aloud, "What kind of work did you do?" So mom didn't even know I asked the question. And using clairvoyance, seeing in the mind's eye, he swept a hand out and he said, "What your husband is doing right now." And I looked out the window and there was my husband kneeling down behind our recreational vehicle, stripping wires on the hitch. I turned to his mother and I said, "Your son just told me he was an electrician." She looked surprised and she said, "Yes, he was." What does that mean for you, for all of us? That there are very clever beings no longer in a body. That was real-time, soul-to-soul communication that I was not just picking up from his mother. He showed me he was aware of what my husband was doing because he had that higher perspective once we're no longer limited by this physical body. But you know, you don't have to be limited by it at any time once you learn who you are and how to experience your higher self for yourself. So to that end, I want to share with you the process that I narrowed down to what it is that has allowed me to make this connection. Truly, please understand me, you don't need a process. All you need is the awareness, I am more than this physical body, the intention to shift to the higher octaves if you want to refer to the other levels that way, and you just shift. But most people don't really understand how that works, and they haven't yet experienced the expanded states. So I'm going to teach you what I call my 7 steps to connecting with higher consciousness. And each of those 7 steps has a letter I've assigned to it to help make it easier to remember. And the letters spell out the acronym BLESS ME. B-L-E-S-S-M-E. So I also call this my Bless Me method for connecting with higher consciousness, where each of the letters stands for a stage that takes you in a beautiful flow from normal waking consciousness to the really perfect state for connecting with any being across the veil. So how exciting is that? What we're about to discuss here will show you how to connect with loved ones who have passed, how to tune in more accurately, more clearly with your own guides, with any of the masters, how to come to know your own higher self, because that really happens best, optimally, when you're in an expanded state of awareness. So before you begin the Bless Me method, you might want to add an additional step at the beginning, and that's intention. Intention is key. Why are you about to do the Bless Me method? Is it going to be to talk with guides, to ask a specific question, to connect with loved ones who have passed, or simply to experience your true nature as whole and complete, wholeness itself? Just a nice expanded experience. That in itself would bring you more peace than you have experienced to this point in your human life. So set a clear intention, and then you begin with the B in Bless Me, and that stands for breathe. Now you're already breathing, but this is breathing with the intention of slowing down your busy mind and raising your human energy field vibration. The two are directly inversely proportional. The slower the mind, the higher the human energy field vibrates. The higher you vibrate as a field of awareness, the easier it is for those at the higher levels to connect with you. So that's the goal with the initial B in the Bless Me method, breathing. I always recommend 3 deep breaths. Ultimately, 1 nice relaxing breath would be enough once you get used to this method. But most of us are leading pretty busy lives. We're always checking our phones and our emails and looking at the internet, always engaged. So we disengage with a nice deep breath, and we're going to use the body's own mechanisms to enhance this practice. There is a nerve that runs from the base of your brain all the way through the torso. It's called the vagus nerve, V-A-G-U-S. It controls the body's fight or flight syndrome and also the relaxation response, both of these. So if you exhale longer than you inhale, that extra push at the end on the exhale literally presses your rib cage in the back against the vagus nerve. And that pressure ignites the relaxation response, instigates it, relaxes you. I don't know what better way to say it than that. So you would, for example, breathe in to the count of 4. Let's do it now. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale just as slowly to the count of 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do it again, and notice how you feel right now before that vagus breath. Notice your energy and relaxation level. Breathe into the count of 4, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now notice how you feel. How's your energy level? Are you starting to feel relaxed? When you do the B stage of the Bless Me method, literally talk yourself into relaxing. Let's do a third one, and I'll show you how that would sound. You breathe into the count of 4 and out to 6, and I'll talk you through it. So breathing in, notice any tension, any stress remaining in your body. And as you breathe out, release all stress and tension and sink deeper, deeper, deeper into relaxation. There. If done as we've just done it, these 3 breaths will leave you in a brainwave state known as alpha. Normal waking consciousness is a frequency that's higher than alpha, known as beta. optimally to connect with your cosmic team, you want to be an alpha or even theta, an even deeper level. But those 3 breaths will naturally drop you into alpha stage. So now that you've noticed, I feel more relaxed, more open, you seamlessly flow into the L in the Bless Me method, which stands for lift. So in this stage, you're going to notice how you feel mentally and physically as you go into this stage. By now you're feeling relaxed, but we want to lift your vibration. So perhaps you get a gentle smile on your face, but the fastest way to lift your vibration, to come into a coherent, harmonious state that is aligned with your true nature as a soul, is gratitude. So in this L phase, and you would probably be sitting here with eyes closed as you do the Bless Me method, bring to mind several things for which you're grateful. And as the saying goes, there is always something to be grateful for. No matter what is going on in your life, find that thing that you can appreciate, that you feel gratitude for, bring it to mind and feel the gratitude in your heart. Those in the spirit world have told us that when we do these practices, they literally see our light turning up, our energetic glow. So why not use that visual? Another thing you can do during the L phase is imagine your inner light as a very real light and turn it up. Send your rays outward. Make it brighter, brighter, brighter. You're the one controlling the lifting of your vibration. So you stay in the L phase until you literally feel harmonious, till you feel brighter, lifted. It's a difference, so you have to notice how you feel going into it. You will not move on to the E stage until you feel harmonious, aligned, attuned with your true nature. You know what that feels like. You've touched it many times throughout your life. So perhaps you're not feeling real harmonious right now. Maybe you're going through a period of grief. Maybe you're having an argument with somebody in your household. Maybe you have a lot of worries. This is when you want to really ratchet up the lifting during this stage and clear your energy centers. We call this chakra clearing. On my website, which is SuzanneGiesemann.com, I have a free meditation called the 10-Minute Transformation. You'll find it in the gifts section under resources. My 10-minute transformation is a wonderful way to clear out any temporary blockages that just arise from being human and interacting with other human beings. If you just feel out of sorts, clear your chakras. You don't have to use my method. You can use any visualization that just frees up the flow of the life force through you. So you may do all of these methods, thinking of something you're grateful for, turning up your light, doing the chakra clearing, and I'll give you a few more in a minute here, or just one or two. It depends on how you feel going into the L stage. If you go into the L stage after a few breaths and you already feel harmonious, free, clear, in line with your soul's true nature, then just move right into E. But if you're feeling what I call gunked up, you want to pull out all the stops. Turn up your light, think of gratitude, do chakra clearing. Other things you might do is start talking to your cosmic team, your team of guides. Right away, that helps you to know you're part of something bigger. You're not alone. Think of someone you love with all your heart. It could be a person, it could be a pet, but allow yourself to fully feel that connection in your heart. All of this helps you turn up your light, feel that lift that the L stage is all about. You might picture yourself in a beautiful scene, a place that would bring you joy and peace. For me, that would be sitting beside a waterfall. Fully immerse yourself in that sensation to get all of your full sensory sensing on board. I would see that scene in my mind's eye. I could hear the water. I could smell the flowers. This is all helping to lift your vibration before you move on to a more expanded state of awareness. So anything else you can think of that doesn't require getting up and doing something is helpful here, such as toning. Om. That note, that tone will help to lift your vibration. So again, go through any or all of these techniques until you actually sense a lift, you're feeling harmonious. Now we seamlessly flow into E. The first E stands for expand. Normally when we're going about our lives in normal waking consciousness, we're pretty much aware of our being right here within our own energy field. But you're not limited to this body or your energy field, which extends several feet out from your body. You're actually also always part of the one field. You're like a whirlpool within the one stream of consciousness. So the E in expand helps you to really internalize that awareness, to bring that awareness to the forefront. And it's very simple, this stage, unlike the lift stage where you could stay in that 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 while you lift your consciousness, or maybe just a second, depending on how you feel. The expand stage is just one step. Become aware of your field, take in a breath, and on the exhale, send the perceived boundaries of your energy field out faster than the speed of light, superluminal speed, infinitely, to merge with the whole field of awareness. I literally allow myself to hear that expansive breath. Here's how it goes. I picture the edges of my field, I breathe in, and I expand like this. And I tell myself, my energy field is now traveling outward faster than the speed of light. I am limitless. And I just think that through. I don't say it out loud. So by now, you're really starting to feel more spacious. We finished the preparatory breathe, lift, expand stages. Now we move into the next section, the 2 S's in the word bless. The first one stands for surrender, or it could stand for set aside. What is it you're setting aside or surrendering in this first S? Very simple. Your identification with the story of you. The story of you is very real while you're inhabiting this body as a soul, but it's not the only you, and it is the most limited and limiting aspect of you. You want to set that aside and step into your role as a soul, which is still a limited version of the wholeness, but far more spacious than the human role you're playing in a body right now. So this is also another very brief, very simple step. You simply state and affirm under your breath or aloud, I surrender. And it's the intention behind that that allows you to now move into the next S, which is shift. You want to shift your attention now to another octave or dimension of reality. You don't have to know where it is because there's only here in consciousness. It's like pressing the remote on the remote control. The shift is the pressing of the button. You just trust it happens, and here's the new channel. You are here. You've done it through your intention and preparing your field. So literally, I just say shift. Now, you may try this technique. Roll your eyes up in your head as you say shift, and that triggers more alpha waves in your brain, that nice, relaxed, expanded state that's optimal for these connections you're about to make. But let your eyes come back naturally. Don't hold them up there. Okay, that's painful to do that. Just shift your eyes up. I always feel like a little elevator lift when I do that. But shifting is equivalent to changing the channel. Now, of course, your body is still in this physical reality. You don't have to leave the body. You're shifting your awareness. Just like you can pay attention to what's on the TV screen when you shift the channel, yet still be aware of what's in this room. We've shifted our attention to a new channel. And the channel is where you put your intention. Could be the channel, the realm, the dimension where your loved ones who have passed are. Could be the channel, the dimension, the realm where the angels and your guides are. You could shift your attention to other realities with extraterrestrials. That's not my expertise, not my experience, but it's possible. You could shift to the realm of the mythological figures. I've had interactions with the Norse god Odin with evidence. You can see my YouTube video called She Spoke to a Norse God for a story that will really show you how we are part of one cosmic reality and anything is possible in consciousness. So you've made the shift. Now we come to the last 2 stages of the Bless Me method, 7 steps to connecting with higher consciousness. The M stands for merge. You are a field of consciousness, whether you are in a body or out of it, that's playing out a story right now, your role. All that exists, once it manifests within the one unified field, are stories, fields of information that carry meaning, and we can interact with them. So in the merge stage, you literally, with intention, merge your field with another field of consciousness. You can do this 2 ways. You can do it by specifying the field you want to merge with, such as a specific loved one who has passed, or a specific spirit guide. Or you could leave it open and say, whatever being, sentient, intelligent, loving being that is of the light and is in service to my highest good, come now and merge with my energy field in awareness. So when I get to this stage, I literally just say, come now. And I picture our 2 fields within the one stream of consciousness, 2 eddies now flowing together. All is known in both fields as we interact now, and you engage. You sit and you notice a difference. What is in awareness? What's arising clairvoyantly, clairsentiently, clairaudiently, that's not from your normal eddy, whirlpool of consciousness. And then we move right into E, the final E in Bless Me, and that stands for experience. Experience whatever arises in awareness, eyes closed or eyes open, as a result of having merged with another field of consciousness within the one field. And interact, engage with whoever shows up. Know that you are innately protected from any lower vibrations just by turning up your own light and owning this personal power that comes from being a direct expression of the life force. Any fear that you feel comes from the human story, and we have set that aside. Light attracts light. Darkness goes toward darkness. So turn up the light, and that is all the protection you need. When your intention is to merge with another sentient being for the greatest good, for learning, for connection, for healing, for comfort, for insights, for guidance, for healing our world, buckle your seatbelt for the experience that will ensue. So that's the whole method. It just flows beautifully like that, and you stay in the experience stage at the end until there's simply a knowing, a sense, it's complete. And you just instantly, with intention, bring yourself back to normal waking consciousness. So the way it flows is this. For example, I have an intention of connecting with a spirit guide to ask a specific question. That's my intention. I might visualize myself sitting in a shaft of light that represents the life force and grounds me into the center of the earth. Then I begin with the 3 slow breaths, slowly self-hypnotizing myself to a greater state of relaxation. Then, depending on how gunked up I feel, I spend a certain period of time practicing the different tools we went over to lift my vibration. When I feel clear and harmonious, I become aware of my energy field and expand it. I state I surrender, and with the intention to no longer identify with my human story only, I shift to the reality, the frequency domain, where I can connect with the spirit guide. They're always here, but it's our intention changing the channel. I say, come now, and that allows me to merge my awareness with my spirit guide. And now I pay attention and experience the presence as my guide's field interacts with mine. And I ask questions and receive answers. At the end, I give gratitude, and we come back out of that. On my website as well, on the gifts page, are several meditations that will talk you through the Bless Me method. And I have several HemiSync recordings that you can also find on my website through the HemiSync company that really allow you to get into a nice expanded state using binaural beats. And they also use and teach the Bless Me method. I know you'll find it useful. I've taught this to thousands and thousands of people who have meditated for years and said that this method took them more deliberately, more quickly, and more deeply than their meditative practice over decades. So it's a very practical process. Once you've done it for a while, you may not even need the practice, because trust me, higher consciousness is our true nature. Those you want to communicate at the higher levels with are right here. Your intention gets you there along with your belief, but I truly hope that you found the Bless Me method to be a very useful tool for getting there.